Hey, it's Webs here, and it's time to look at some new Demon Hunter cards in the form of the Relic support, because I have a golden Xy'mox that I really wanted to use. And I figured, why not try to do another Vanndar deck, because Xy'mox is an 8 cost minion, and there's a bunch of other minions that you could easily use to make a token Relic Demon Hunter deck that actually steals a lot of wins from decks that you might not expect, even if it isn't the best deck in the world. And trust me, I tried so many different variants of Relic Demon Hunter to try to make something work, and this one felt the best out of the entire bunch. And with this deck, I played, I think, 30 games, and I had around a 45% win rate, which was much higher than I expected because I've been hearing horrible things about Relic Demon Hunter, and they're probably all true. If you're running against a bunch of Imp Warlock, you are not going to have a very fun time, but this can steal games away from other really popular decks such as Skeleton Mage or even Ramp Druid, which are also very prevalent in the metagame right now. For the Mulligan guide of deck, you of course are going to be looking for Vanndar because he does allow you to discount all the other minions in your deck, but there's two other categories of cards that you're looking for early game. Relic-related cards such as Relic Vault, Relic of Phantasm, or Relic of Extinctions are really good early game tools, so you can actually scale really quickly. Other cards that you're looking for are early game removal, which Relic of Extinction is one of them, Chaos Leech, Coordinated Strike, Flanking Maneuver, or even the card that looks really bad on paper, but is kind of necessary given the speed of some certain aggro decks in the name of Imp Warlock. This is the best AoE that you can actually run against Imp Warlock right now if you are playing Demon Hunter, even if it isn't the best card in the world. And it sucks to say this deck has a clear weakness to a deck like that. So with that all being said, let's look at some games. Alright, time for a game against Shaman. Okay, so Ultra Null could in theory be kind of cool here. Seeing the Vanndar in the opening hand is really nice. Probably just going to keep everything here in case it is a aggro variant of Shaman. Then we're probably just going to hero power and Bastard back to them. Going to try to probably save our cards in our hands so we can actually put down Null on like turn 3 or whatever. Okay, so we'll probably just hero power and go face again. The next turn we do have the Null. Or we could actually coin out Vanndar. Really just depends on how we're feeling. We have actually a lot of possibilities for we could possibly do for the next turn. Okay, raid box Nixia. Pretty nice to see. A little bit early for it though. Would have preferred to draw into it after we use Vanndar, but it is what it is. So they'll freeze our Null. Is fine. We have Vanndar to put down next. And we just pass the turn back because we have nothing else to do. Okay, so there's Spectral Sight. We could use that to draw 2 cards. Doesn't completely fill up our hands. Relic of Extinction is alright. We'll coin out a Flanking Maneuver to get rid of both minions on their board. We burn a Brilliant Macaw, which is great. Don't want to have to deal with a Chain Freeze out of Shaman or a Chain Sire Denathrius. Both were very annoying to deal with. Okay, we're going to improve our relics, and then we're going to use Relic of Extinction. This should get rid of both minions, and then we can just go face. We do have some 1/1s, which isn't that impressive, but it is what it is. Sometimes stuff like that happens. And we did get a little bit unlucky right there, too, with how those hit the minions. Honestly, I think is the biggest flaw in a Relic Demon Hunter deck. It does very similar things to some other classes that exist in the metagame right now. It just does it worse for some stupid reason. Okay, so they're gonna AoE worker us. We do have Chaos Nova for next turn if we want to go down that path. Probably the best way to do it. Then we can just drop down a Null. Oh, they ate our Xy'mox. I mean, it could be worse. They could have ate Xy'mox, but or Raid Boss and Nixia might have been actually worse. Okay, so I'm gonna want to attack. That does allow us to put down a Relic and Xy'mox on the same turn because they might have a Brilliant Macaw. We get discounts here. Okay, actually that's a pretty good thing to get a discount on. Get some 5/5s, kill the Canis. Even if they end up eating our Onyxia, we do have access to the Devour, which is actually kind of funny. Okay, they're going to freeze out our board. Now, how are we going to do this? We could use... We have enough mana for what I want to do. Don't think we do. But we can use the Chaos Nova, get rid of all their fish. And then we're probably going to want to use the Tornado Strike, which won't get rid of their minion unless we hero power to get rid of it. Though we are in a dangerous position. If they do have their hero card, we just lose the game. But we do have the 2 Devourers in case they don't, and they just have some big type of minion. Okay, there's a Ravager drawing 1 card. There's Lady Vash, which will get them an additional card. Okay, if that's all they're going to do, we're actually in a really good position, because we can just eat all 3 of their minions and hope that the owl doesn't actually go face. Oh, Sire Nathria is interesting. I think the Devourer is better to use here, though. Just gotta hope it doesn't hit our face. And it doesn't. Okay, okay. We're in a good position. Just gotta survive another turn of them not maybe having Brucon, and then we should win the game. The Tiny Toys, and then they're going to evolve everything. That gets rid of our Devourer. But doesn't get rid of the damage on board. And they don't get a taunt, but that is actually a really scary board now. And they give up. Okay, time for a game against Priest. I'm going to keep one of the Chaos Novas just in case. Relic Vault and a Null. Not bad for 2 other cards. Null doesn't really do anything for a few turns, but it does act as a removal once we get enough cards in our hand. Okay, Coordinated Assault. We can just attack their face. I wish there was a little bit more variety in Demon Hunter portraits. I guess this is kind of different than the other ones just because of the violin, but it would be cool if we saw some additional characters that weren't Night Elves. Okay, Spectral Sight is a good turn too, especially because it allows us to discount the Null. Getting Xy'mox and Vanndar as the 2 draws, though, is a little bit frustrating. I don't mean Vanndar is frustrating to see, but Xy'mox I would have preferred to be discounted if possible. Okay, they're going to coin out a minion, I'm assuming. Queen's Guard, that's a 3/4 that we have to deal with pretty quickly. We can put down a Relic Vault and then hope they don't play any other additional minions. We do have access to killing that minion next turn in 2 different ways. They do have another minion, so we won't be able to deal with it the way that I was expecting to. We should be able to put down the Null, or we could actually use the flanking maneuver we just top decked. And that can actually help us out a lot too. Just going to hold on Vanndar for a little bit. I'd rather get rid of all their minions as humanly possible because I'm assuming it's going to be a Blessed Priest deck. And if I don't allow them to get any type of board, we're in a pretty good position. A partner in crime. Now, do we have a way? And technically, we do have a way to deal with it. But the Null technically doesn't get rid of both. Next turn, we could use both a Relic of Phantasm and Extinction, duplicating the Extinction to get rid of this minion plus whatever else they decide to actually put down. They're going to steal our Null. That's fine. We do have Chaos Nova, so that might be a better way to do this. And we can just go face. Probably should have actually hit the minion. Okay, they're going to play School Teacher. Get something here. What to do here? Again, we could do the Relic combo if we really feel like it. We could also use Coordinated Assault to turn on some stuff. We could also use the Chaos Nova. Let's go with the Relic. Attack into the 1/1. This guarantees us to kill the entire board, put down Vanndar, just so we don't have it sticking in our hand for much longer. So they have a minion now. They can start buffing this up. We don't have that many minions on board, so that Shadow Word Devourer doesn't actually do much. Sire's kind of funny. We can start buffing him up with the Coordinated Assault here. Xy'mox is transformed now. Then we can just attack face and pass the turn back. Next turn we can follow up with a double Phantasm, which should give us a 3/3 or 2 3/3s and 2 4/4s, which isn't necessarily bad. Depends on what we actually top deck to. A Radiant Elemental. Kind of a waste to put that down. Now, Relic of Dimensions could be something good to actually duplicate. We're going to put down Xy'mox just to draw some additional cards. Okay, there's our 3/3s. Get rid of both minions. Draw 2 cards. Probably should have waited to see what we actually drew. Flanking Maneuver and a Null, both of which are discounted to 0. Now, next turn we have the choice between using a double Dimension or a double Phantasm, both of which priests should not really have that much to deal with, so. Okay, so they have Palagos. Palagos is a little bit too late for them. They had some type of charge minion, then maybe he wouldn't be, but they don't, so we're in a pretty good position. Oh, yeah. A second Relic Phantasm. We don't have space for it, though, is the thing. Just going to draw 2 additional cards with the Dimensions, getting a Devourer, which is pretty cool, and burning a Relic of Extinction. Should have played the Null first, but oh well. Just attack into their Palagos. Then face. And kill their Radiant Elemental. Play down the Null, because why not? Pass the turn back to them, probably. Oh, we can even attack with our hero, too. Okay, time for a game against Mage. Okay, having Vanndar in our open hand, not bad. Plus a Relic Vault and a Relic of Extinction. Top decking a Flanking Maneuver, which doesn't do us anything yet. Okay, so they have a Wildfire, which means any little minion that we put down is just going to be instantly killed. Makes the first 2 uses of a Relic of Phantasm a lot worse than in any other matchup. I'm going to put down a Relic Vault. That's an interesting card to actually see out of a Mage deck. Maybe it's just pure Secret Mage. Interesting. Going to double use a Relic of Extinction. Should kill both minions, so then we can just go face. I'm going to pop a Ice Barrier here. Going to play Vanndar, attack their face. Oh, that's actually a kind of a cool top deck. But we do have the ability to draw into 2 more minions, and I'd rather just do that, and then we can put down the Null anyways for free. Okay, a Relic of Dimensions. Now, do we actually want to do that, or do we want to play down Xy'mox? Actually, how the hell do you even pronounce that name? I know he's been out for an entire set, but I still not the best at pronouncing things always. We can also just use our Relic to clear out the board. then put it down so we can do a bunch of face damage. You're gonna be able to get an entire board of skeletons. That does put Xy'mox completely online, which is cool. Sadly, we don't have the little stalks to actually do a bunch of face damage anymore, but we can get rid of a few of their minions here. We're also drawing a few cards and learning from my mistake of just instantly passing the turn back, because we do get a bunch of cards that are just going to cost 0 at this point. We can use Coordinated Assault to get rid of some more minions. Probably should have been safe and actually not used it all on the same one, because in theory we could have actually just lost one attack right there. We're in a pretty good position though right now. They're going to attack into the 6-2. So we have a Devourer and a Sire building up in our hand. Fine with them just giving us more and more minions to use. That's actually a really shocking card to see out of anyone. Okay, Cold Case. Now what do we want to do this turn? We can use our hero card. We really feel like it. Use a Devourer to kill the 3 minions. Probably should have done that in the opposite order in case they actually killed any of our minions here, but oh well. Then we can just pass the turn back. Okay, so they're going to freeze our Devourer, put down a taunt, and I think kill one of our other minions. Okay, our Sire is getting pretty big now. Now what do we want to do here? Well, let's get him even bigger, because why not? And probably should have attacked there since Sire is used our hero power first. That's 16 damage, 7 damage there, plus 6 more damage, which puts them at 14, and that's perfect lethal. Didn't screw that up at all. Alright, now that we're through the games, let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. Overall, this deck was a big disappointment. Relic Demon Hunter is another in the long line of big Demon Hunter support that just doesn't have enough of a win condition to actually make a deck be fully functional. This is honestly the best way that I figured to do this, and I had originally planned on releasing this last Wednesday, but every single version of Relic Demon Hunter I tried up to this point had a sub 30% win rate and was really frustrating to play, especially with all the Imp Warlocks that were floating around at the time. Now that the metagame has been diversified a little bit since then, because people are starting to play counters to Imp Warlock, this has a little bit of a better chance to actually live, as this can actually still steal some games from big competitive decks like Ramp Druid or Skeleton Mage. I honestly don't know what Blizzard is going to do though in the future when it comes to Relic Demon Hunter, because I'm assuming the mini set will be the last chance of us seeing an additional Relic support. This deck is missing some type of big win condition for having all these Relics in the deck, or just another minion that interacts with the relics themselves. I don't know what you'd actually print, but given the fact that Xy'mox in his first fight in World of Warcraft actually had a Maw-themed relic also, I would assume that the 4th relic that we are actually missing will be something like that. So maybe we'll see some big AoE payoff, or maybe some AoE board clear, both of which Demon Hunter is clearly missing, as I'm running Chaos Nova in this deck to deal with aggro decks. That's really incredibly sad to say that I'm running such a bad card, but it is what it is. I honestly can't recommend you playing this deck. I had the Golden Xy'mox, so I had to give it a chance. And like always, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, bye bye.